Hey everyone, this is James, and this is March 16th, about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. This is BTC USDT. This is on the this is the 4-hour chart on the Binance exchange, is what I was trying to say. So basically, what I like to start out with is that this is not investment advice. Second of all, I like to just go over the overall trend, where we've come from, in case there's any new viewers out there. And what we've come from is an overall downtrend that now we've used kind of as a springboard to try to break out. However, what we're creating is lower lows and lower highs in this area, as you know, as we broke out of that negative downtrend. What we've also done is completely assumed that negative downtrend once again, and we are now still literally in the same situation that we were before. Another thing too is that I like to show the volatility here, and then how it's smoothed out over here, and it's getting less and less. It almost looks like to me visually, when I look at this chart, I feel like the market is withering away in this area, and that's kind of what my analysis has been. From last night's video, which was a fairly long video. If you haven't seen that, you can watch that and have like a better understanding of everything I'm gonna talk about today. But what we have here is we have a positive upsloping line, which is the green, and we have a negative downsloping line, which is the red. We have our major support area from a previous big buyer right here in this area that we've broken down through. That has now become resistance for us, as you can see here. There's another potential zone, which is roughly about the 7,700 zone. However, that has provided temporary support. I do not believe that's going to last long. The reason why is because now we're starting to form a little coil here. Every time Bitcoin has formed a coil, especially on a down run, it has continued that down run. So we may just have a continuation pattern forming right here with another leg down. If we do have another leg down from this angle into time and space, there's a chance that we could fall deeper into the actual 6,000 range. So not the low 6,000s. I still think the high 6,000s, but it's there on the table now. If we cannot have a miracle turnaround from here, but I don't see anything really showing that. Even if we do get a small subtle bounce and a rise to even the 8,500-ish level, I still would not be positive on Bitcoin at this time. So it's done this pattern multiple times, right? We get these nice upward consolidations. Everybody thinks the trend's changing, and boom, the whole floor pops out. So we could get, just a little consolidation this way. Everybody's going to get hyped up like, oh, we're going to the moon, we're going to the moon. And then, boom, falls out from under. Basically, I'm just going to wait and see what happens, because it's just too risky right here. You can see exactly what we're doing. If we just chop the chart off right here, right, you can see lower lows, lower highs. It's not a good sign. The market's withering. This is on a 4-hour chart. There's a lot of time here. And in Bitcoin, okay, a lot of time is weeks. Months is like we're talking about years over here, okay? Weeks are probably comparable to months, and days are probably comparable to weeks in Bitcoin, with the wild volatile swings that you see going on in this market. So the overall picture right now does not look good, and I think we're due for probably another leg down, and then from there we could either break out the 6,000 low, which is going to be a very bad sign, or we're going to create a higher low right here and then build that uptrend structure like I've been talking about, just a nice subtle increase. Something that's just going to slowly build the market like you would see in like the NASDAQ, the fiat markets, etc. So that's what we see here. We see a rejection. Basically, you can see how it's oscillated around the negative downtrend line right here. And you can see that it's now starting to roll over right here, okay? So we break back through the maybe like 8,400 zone area. If we can consistently trade there, price may push up to about 8,500, 8,600, maybe. Not too much of a run. And then from there, we could see the fall over. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to hit this 7,700, 7,600 range, and we may get a little teeny tiny bounce, and it's just going to go boom and fall right through, and that's going to bring us into the either the very low sevens, or we're going to start to enter the high sixes, and by high sixes I mean 6.8, 6.9. If we start to just waterfall downward much deeper and beeline it towards that 6,000 range, that's going to be a huge red flag for me, because if we come at this line with a lot of velocity, there's a high probability we will bust the line, create a lower low, and again, there may be a bounce at that point, and it may be a nice little run, maybe a few thousand points, maybe 3,000 points, but it would be a big red flag for the market, especially if we get another one of these crazy V-bottom turnarounds. And that V-bottom turnaround, I doubted it when it happened, because to me it's just a manipulation in the market to get it to rise so the big money can escape that wants to escape. And that's what I think that we're seeing here. I think we're just seeing the aftermath of that. We're seeing multiple sucker rallies to where if you were able to time it daily, possibly multi-daily, then you got lucky. You were able to get in and out. But other than that, for long-term holding, you can already see we're almost back to square one now. And long-term holding, and that's what I say, right? Because we're February right here. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the long-term holding. Your months are years in Bitcoin. Your weeks are months, and your days are equivalent to weeks. So if you're a long-term holder, that's about the breakdown for you. It's quite a crazy market. Still though, what we see on the bigger picture is we can obviously all agree that you see the bubble that occurred, you can see the blow off from that, and you could see a possible return to normalization as long as we can hold this line. If we start to break back below, then we'll go much deeper than that 6,000 range, and we'll just have a continuation of downward movement along this negative slope. And you can see this is exactly what price is doing across that. So just imagine a canning face downward. And yeah, there's going to be some spikes. Yeah, there's going to be some volatility. Yeah, there can be some money to be made. But obviously, you can see where the market is going, where the energy is flowing. And you can clearly see it when I start to outline the actual tops here. And I can do it from the bottom as well. Now this, we got a little peak up, but still you can see lower lows. And that's what it looks like. So the energy is all flowing downward. And every single thing I do, everything is flowing downward. Yes, there will be spikes. Yes, there can be money to be made. Okay, there's always money to be made, even in bear markets. Okay, when you look at, stocks and etc. There's always money to be made. Like I said, this is not investment advice, but I'm not just saying like, Bitcoin's going to do nothing and it's just going to roll over and die. There's still going to be volatile swings. However, everything is showing it's in the negative energy. The only saving grace is going to be this area right here, about the 7,600, 7,700 zone. But with the way this is forming a consolidation right here, I highly doubt that's going to hold up. If it does, it might just go like that and then boom right through. So there's a lot of energy building up in here. And when there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of momentum. That momentum will just bust through support resistance zones like it's nothing. So it's either we'll head up, which I doubt it. I really do doubt it from the formation of this. But I'm expecting more downside, and we'll see what happens. So my next video is this evening. If you do like the content, give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, comment. I'll try to get back to you if I can. I'm extremely busy, but right now there's more risk to me than there is reward. So I'm just going to sit back, see what works out, and I'd rather start to see some higher highs and higher lows form before I can make a more educated decision based on Bitcoin and even the whole cryptocurrency market in general, because Bitcoin is the heavyweight that is dictating the market. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, my link's right below this video. You can just follow it. Other than that, I'll talk to everybody this evening. I hope you have a great day or great evening, depending on where you are in the world, and thank you for your support.